मेरा नाम ताहिर अहमद डार है.
My name is Tahir Ahmed Dar. Basically, I am a resident of Farooqabad city, situated near Shekhupura. Currently, I am living in Shekhupura.
रह रहा हूँ और कॉलेज में
I am an assistant professor of English language in a local college.
प्रोजेक्ट है और इधर आजकल तो
Nowadays, due to holidays, I am not that very much busy.
गर्मी जहाँ तक
As far as my relationship to Ahmadiyat is concerned, my grandfather were 5 brothers.
5 भाई थे. 5 भाई में
3 of them accepted Ahmadiyat and the 2 remained in Islam.
दादा जान, नाना जान और एक और हमारे जो है वो उनके भाई वो शामिल हो गए थे. 2 हमारे जो दादा थे उनके जो भाई थे वो
It was my grandfather who took his oath of allegiance in 1905 and then Ahmadiyat passed down to our next generations.
उसके बाद ये सिलसिला उनवट चलता रहा नस्ल दर नस्ल. लेकिन हम में से कोई भी जो है वो
None of us ever wanted to leave Ahmadiyat.
बस जिस तरह वो कहते हैं कि एक
When someone is born in a certain family,
तो फिर वही
then all his habits and thinking is molded accordingly.
हमारे अंदर भी वही सोच थी.
And we had that same thinking.
रास्ता फिर
But what happened that slowly Allah opened up ways towards the paths of guidance.
जो ऑब्जर्व करना
There were many things that I observed in the Ahmadiyya Jamaat.
मैं
For the last 20 years, I had been playing an active part in the Jamaat, especially in the Shekhupura district.
तो उसमें मेरे
I served in the Department of General Affairs throughout, but I also worked in the educational wing of Waqf-e Jadid.
में रहे हैं लेकिन ज्यादा मैंने काम अमूमी का किया है. अमूमी में ये होता है
In the Department of General Affairs, all the responsibilities of security and general discussions were included.
सारी इसी शोबे के अंदर आती हैं और ओवरऑल कह लें कि सब जितने शोबे जात
We have to overview all the departments. That is why we have all the information.
मैक्सिमम हमारे पास होती हैं. तो वो अमूमी का शुबा मेरे पास थ्रू
Due to this, I observed a lot of things and contradictions of Jamaat.
बात के अंदर कंट्राडिक्शंस और मतलब जुबान कुछ है
Their words differed from their practices.
प्रैक्टिकली कुछ है. तो ये बड़ा फर्क है. डबल स्टैंडर्ड.
They had a lot of contradictions.
बहरहाल वो बहुत सारी चीजें ऑब्जर्व की हैं. उसके बाद मेरा अक्सर इनके साथ
I always had disagreements with Ahmadiyya Jamaat. They used to say that we are a divine group and we are the followers of a single Imam.
ये कभी भी नहीं इन्होंने बताया कि जी हम
They never told us that they believe Mirza Ghulam Qadiyani as a prophet. But we were rather told by the Ahmadiyya Jamaat that Mirza Ghulam Qadiyani was a reflection of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. God forbid. But when we look into the writings of Mirza Ghulam Qadiyani, then something far more worse comes out. Hence, a lot of contradictions emerged. With the passage of time, I was compelled to self-study.
मैंने ये सिलसिला शुरू किया.
3 years ago, I started studying from all the available sources.
मेरे पास बुक्स भी पड़ी हुई थी. उसमें से स्टडीज करता रहा मैं और बाद में यह कि मैंने कुछ जो
I started sharing contradicting questions and references to my friends. That the Ahmadiyya Jamaat practically tells us something else and in the books something very different is written.
तो वो मैंने रेफरेंस जब शेयर करने शुरू किए तो फिर इनको जिस तरह इनके सिस्टम के अंदर एक ये है कि जब भी इनके
When I started asking questions about their system, they became quite perturbed and offended.
कोशिश करते हैं कि फौरी तौर पर उस
And then they try to curb and snub this sort of situation, which affects their system.
को खराज करना पड़े खा वो इनको
They excommunicate or use other procedures to mitigate these situations.
तो जब मैंने रेफरेंसेस शेयर किए तो उसके बाद इन्होंने जो है वो
When I shared these references, they started an inquiry against me. The Ahmadiyya Jamaat's preacher of the district also shared wrong references with me.
लोगों के सामने
When I exposed him in front of others, then the Jamaat thought that this is getting bigger.
मरकज से मकामी तौर पे इनके पास क्वेश्चंस का कोई सवाल का
They had no answers to my questions. So they called Hafiz Muzaffar and Mubashir Kahlu, their grand scholars from the center. They asked me to have a sitting with them. I was aware of their procedures as I was in touch with all the operations. They had a sitting with me and shared their knowledge with me.
एक्सचेंज किया नॉलेज का. दूसरा सिंपली टॉपिक जो उस दिन छिड़ा था वो तो मुस्लिम
They talked about the topic of Muslim Maud, that their second leader, Mirza Mahmud, is a Muslim Maud or not.
मुबश्शिर कालू साहब ने गलत
In the meeting, Mubashir Kahlu quoted wrong references to me. In that meeting, Jamaat's district preacher, preacher of city, the local management, president city and president district, all were present and they hadn't read the books also. So, whatever Mubashir Kahlu told them, they accepted it. That meeting lasted for 3 hours, yet it remained incomplete because I didn't ask them any questions.
वो मैंने उस दिन कहा था कि मैंने
I told them that I won't raise any questions today. Just tell me whatever you want to talk about. So we decided that another question answer session would be held on some other day. They agreed to it and went away while telling me threateningly that we won't let you share the references. I asked them what authority they had to stop me.
मेरा अपना हर इंसान का अपना जाती फेल है,
Everyone has the freedom to decide whatever and how he wants to learn religion.
वो करेगा। तो आपको भी मैं इजाजत नहीं देता कि आप मेरे
I also don't let you intervene in my personal matters. Hence, we decided another day for the question answer session in front of all the others.
ये तय करके ये
And they went away.
तो और भी दूसरे भी जो दोस्त थे उन्होंने ये फाइनल कर ली ये बात, लेकिन मुझे पता था इन दी लास्ट क्या हो रहा है।
But I knew the outcome, that this was our last meeting and they won't ever come again. For if they wanted to give answers to my questions, they would have given them in the first sitting. I asked them 4 questions and Hafiz Muzaffar was unable to answer them.
और उसके बाद ये हुआ कि जब ये चले
After the very first session, when they both went away, the Jamaat announced my excommunication without any justification.
गए, किसी जस्टिफिकेशन के बगैर ही
They announced that I have been excommunicated from the Jamaat as they were of the view that I have adhered to a viewpoint against Jamaat's educational system.
पहले तो मैंने
First of all, on the day of announcement, I have asked for a valid justification and told them to provide me with a proper record about this decision, as it is not a right way in social justice system that you accuse someone falsely and are unable to justify those accusations, as this practice is against judicial and social justice systems of the world.
क्यों किया जबकि हमारी बातचीत तो हुई नहीं आपस में।
Because both the parties have not settled on a logical conclusion.
उसके बाद 1.5-2 साल
After that, I waited for answers from them for about 2 years, but all was in vain.
इन्होंने कोई ऐसा जवाब नहीं दिया। मैंने बहरहाल अपनी रिसर्च करके
On the other hand, I continued with my research with reference to Quran, and after comparing all their false concepts with the Quran,
कि मैं इस नतीजे पर
I came to a conclusion that Ahmadiyya Jamaat have nothing to do with Allah and Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
बिल्कुल उसके अगेंस्ट है और इनका जो सिस्टम
This system is totally against Islam and their system completely resembles Jewish practices. The sole purpose to plant this cult was to propagate against Islam and Pakistan. It has nothing to do with Islam or Muslims. Meanwhile, I kept on educating my children about this cult
इनका ये तरीका वार
because it is Ahmadiyya Jamaat's methodology against the ones who try to take a stand against this cult. They try to separate him from his family, and most of time in such cases Ahmadiyya Jamaat have succeeded in their evil doings.
मेरे भी इन्होंने कोशिश की है लेकिन अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह वो
They tried to do the same with me, but my wife was a learned lady and she did the research with me and was of the same view as mine.
उसके बाद फिर उनका भी जब वो इस सिलसिले में जोर कम हो गया कि ये अब जोर इधर भी नहीं चलना, तो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह वो है कि बीवी और बच्चे जो थे मेरी फैमिली
So by the grace of Allah, my family agreed with me and we had the same stance about this cult. So we announced our separation from this evil cult and came in the fold of Islam.
बिल्कुल इनका दावा जो मिर्जा
We were of the view that Mirza Ghulam Qadiyani was a fraud and all his claims were false and baseless and against the teachings of Quran and Islam.
इस्लाम कबूल करने के बाद एक्चुअली तो बात यह है कि मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम और अल्लाह
All praise to Allah, love for Allah and Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was there from our childhood.
वो ऐसे महसूस होता था बाज़ दफा कि हम जब
But there always had been a hindrance between us.
तो जब से मैंने ये किया है मैंने 22
Since me and my family have embraced Islam on the 22nd of February 2019, we have felt that obstacle between us have been removed and we are enjoying a direct connection with Allah and Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
उनको मेरी ये सजेशन है कि इनकी किताबें पढ़ें।
My advice to all Ahmadis is to read the books of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani,
जो खड़ा किया हुआ है तो आम अहमदी ये समझता कि यार सबसे पहले
because an ordinary Ahmadi is unaware of these books, and if they are unable to afford these books, they should at least read the books of Muslim scholars which have been written on the contradictions of this cult,
सिर्फ उनको ही
as they will find these books helpful in searching the truth about this cult.
हो जाता है कि इनके असल बताने वाले कायद कौन से हैं और प्रैक्टिकली इनके कायद कौन से हैं। बाकी अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह अल्लाह ताला ने जब
After Allah had bestowed me with the right path, now my goal in life is to spread the teachings of Islam and Quran and to bring out the real face of Ahmadiyya cult.
कुरान की तालीम है उसको लोगों तक पहुंचाना है। अल्लाह ताला सबके लिए राह हिदायत जो सबके लिए जो कायम कर दे सब
May Allah show us the right path.